Well, what do you think about mind and heart?
Hmm.
What I mean is,
What do you mean?
uh, are we are we thinking with our minds? Are we listening our minds? Or are we listening our hearts? Or both? Or does it change person to person? Do you understand my
I
question?
completely understood your question before.
I hope our followers will understood also.
Yes, 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 yes. Before responding to this question, I'm gonna come with a question. How or how did you come up with this question, or what made you ask this question? Can I have a little bit of info on that?
Okay. I was doing yoga with my instructor the other day, and suddenly he said, don't think about the asanas while you're doing them. Feel it in your heart. Don't follow your mind. Feel
Uh-huh.
it in your heart. So, since that day, I have been thinking about this,
Yeah.
and I thought Shirley is the right person to ask about it.
Okay, I am not the right person to ask, but it's good that you ask, because I have a response to it. Okay, since my childhood, my father have always said, Shirley, don't make your decisions based on your heart, what your heart says.
Mm,
Think, put your logic in action. Think with your mind, with your rationality. Let your rationality and your mind guide you. And I have always been a person that had my emotions, which is my heart, as you say, with my emotions, with my feelings, with my senses, letting them guide me. Because they were so strong to guide me, to give me enough information to understand with the data, to analyze the data, to put me into the right track.
mhm,
Now, of course, my father's criticism, as a criticism, was uh, not to have impulsive decision making, to not have only decisions based on my emotions, based on how I feel, but also get my rational side, my mind, and bring it to balance. But what he was saying is rather to pull it more, let's say 51 to 49, or 60 to 40, or 70 to 30, even 80 to 20 to the rational side.
mhm.
And way back then, my emotional side was 51 to, not even 51 to 49, but 80 to 20 maybe, because I was in my growing state. But today, let me tell you, still we discuss about this, that he still has a very methodical, mechanical, very rational mind, very technical, right? So when I speak about, you know, mindfulness or happiness or all of these spiritual stuff, he says, okay, I don't get you. I am trying to get you to a certain extent, but because he cannot take it. Now, this is the case with the engineers, for example. This is how, for long years, our minds, or we were hardwired, or we were brought up with the philosophy of making reasoning based on rational thinking with the mind. But now we see lately, I don't know how many decades it's been, maybe 3 decades, 4 decades, 5 decades, since the 1980s maybe, there's a growing tendency towards the emotional intelligence, emotional side, right? And it's not enough to have only the rational, the reasoning, but also the emotional reasoning. And it has to come side by side. From time to time, 51 to 49 on one side, and vice versa, or maybe 60 to 40, maybe 70 to 30, depending on the situation. But no matter what mindfulness and the presence awareness philosophy commands is that let yourself be, which is the asana that you were saying, and the meditative state where you, all of us, are supposed to let go that rational reasoning state of mind and let the emotional, the being side. And that is the hearts, the emotions, the feelings, the sensations, the intangible part of us. And because rationality is more of a tangible, let's say, with formulas, with datas, with I don't know if I'm explaining.
So, you mean, what I understand, then is it a character? I mean, you just said your father still thinks with his mind. So if he would want to, let's say, learn to listen his heart, would it be possible? Or are you saying left brain people never can't hear or see their heart?
Okay, it's not about personality. It's not an innate personal characteristics. First of all, in my father's case, this is how he was brought up, and this is how he is hardwired, based on his age, the generation he was born into, and of course, in his time, his left brain was more reinforced, and right brain was less of, or that he received reinforcement. But when you look at his generation, all of the artists, let's say the visual artists, the audio artists, like musicians, painters, and so on, their right brain was predominantly more reinforced. So it's not about the character; it's how you train your muscle, or you put your heart into. And when we look for today, is that we are able to, let's say, train our mind accordingly, based on your needs, or based on your interests, based on your bringing up.
If your father wants to start to listen, to see his heart, is that possible?
For sure it's possible. For sure it's possible. And this is what all of the Zen philosophy, the way it came all the way through from east to west, and it has been put into action, into application in many organizations, in corporate places. This is the reason for corporate people to train their minds or to train themselves to bring a balance between the left and the right brain. All of the engineers, for example, in Google, that they have been putting into practice to bring emotional intelligence side by side, which is the EQ, side by side the IQ, because the IQ level is so high. Meanwhile, the leadership, the communication, the cooperation, collaboration, and all of the social dynamics are not working as should work, you know. So that is the emotional intelligence which working on them, you know. Yes,
Okay,
for sure it
perfect.
can. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have more questions for next time.
Okay, keep them for next time.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.